You know, I've been wanting to share this story for a while. First time I bought a house, I messed up big. Hi, my name is Matt Cole. I'm a local real estate agent serving Napa and Solano County. And I want to tell you what I did so you can avoid that same mistake if you're thinking about buying a house. So, 22 years old, wanted to purchase my first house. So let me back up, give you a little backstory, a little bit about my philosophy at the time to better understand why I did what I did and the timing and so on and so forth. So 2008, I was 22 years old. I was working at a grocery store. I was management, making really good money for my age, And like most people, probably like yourself, wanted to aspire, wanted to do more, wanted more for my family, more for myself, and never really had any mentors with money showing me, teaching me what and how to do that. But I always saw successful people and they all owned houses, right? They all owned a house. They owned their house. And so I said, man, if I'm going to be successful, I need to buy a house, right? Because that's what successful people do, is they buy houses or they buy their house. And so I had that philosophy. I went on to start looking at properties. Mind you, 2008. So this is before the major crash. So I started looking at properties, and a couple people told me, Matt, the market's going to go down again. It's going to keep going down. And I said, nah, you guys don't know anything. You don't know nothing. And, you know, sure enough, in hindsight, it did. But I remember wanting to own a house because that's what success was, right? And so I went and I found a lender, got approved for a loan, got a realtor, started showing me properties, ended up purchasing a house in Vacaville, paid $375,000 for this house. My mortgage payment in 2008 for a $375,000 house was about $3,300 a month. Yeah, $3,300 a month. And this is what I didn't know, right? I didn't know that you base a home's value on what it could rent for, right? So I was thinking the market already dipped because it had, right? It had been going down since 2006, 2007, and 2008, and things were leveling off, right? You hear some people saying, "Oh, it's a great time." Some people, it's a horrible time. No one really has a crystal ball and knows. And so I'm paying $3,300 a month for this house, and I'm broke. I mean, my whole paycheck's going to pay this mortgage. I was what you would call mortgage poor, right? Have you ever heard that term? That was me. I didn't have money to go out to dinner. I commuted for work now, so I was paying for more gas and wear and tear on my vehicle, and I wasn't happy, right? I had this house, but on the weekends I'd hang out in the house, right? I couldn't go out. I couldn't do anything. So it wasn't fun. It wasn't the right move to make. And so if you're thinking about buying a house and you have the same philosophy, successful people own houses, I just want to share with you what I learned from that experience that I carry on and I share with my clients and help people understand, because I didn't understand that during those times. So one thing, when I said, you base a home's value on the rent. So that house that I purchased that I was paying $3,300 a month for, I could have rented 2 doors down that was for rent for $1,600 a month. So I was paying, double what the rent was to own a house. So I was taking that extra money that I could have been investing or using to have a real enjoyable life to pay this mortgage down. And I didn't understand that at the time. I was speculating. I was hoping that the market had bottomed out and that I was going to make money on the equity, right? And so first thing is, you never buy a house speculating on the home's value going up. So, from that I learned a very valuable lesson. We ended up short selling it because I was 22 years old when I bought it. A couple of years later, the market went down. The house was worth $150,000, and I just man, I can't afford this. I'm so young. Why am I going to keep this? So I ended up short selling it. Might not have been the right thing to do, but it was the right thing for me to do, and everyone else was doing it, and so I didn't want to be trapped in that payment. And so when you're buying a house, you want to buy it based on things like school district, right? You want to buy it based on making sure that your monthly, so if you're on a fixed income, that your monthly payment doesn't go up because the rents keep increasing, right? So you want to buy it based on that. You want to buy it depending on what the current rents are. And let's say I could have bought it and I was in that house at $2,000 a month for a mortgage, or I could have rented it for $1,600. It's a no-brainer to buy it and have a $2,000 a month mortgage for the fact of the tax benefits, because after you get that tax break, you're almost making you're cheaper per se than renting that house, and you're paying down the equity, and there's so many different benefits. So one, you don't buy a house speculating on the home's value going up. You don't do that. You know, if you buy a house, base it on the rent, right? Because if I would have bought that house, let's say I bought the house, or I bought houses during the downturn of the market, right? The market crashes, and now you can get houses and the mortgage is $1,100 a month, and the property will rent for $1,600 a month. Well, that's a great investment, whether the market keeps going down or goes up, because regardless, if you need to move or you need to get out of the house, you can rent that house out and the renter is going to pay that mortgage, and you're going to be cash flow positive. See, at $3,300 a month for me, and if I tried to rent it out, right, if I wanted to buy when the market turned, I couldn't do that because I would have been renting it out at $1,600 a month and paying an additional, $1,700 a month just to cover my mortgage. Like, no way, that's insanity. So I learned a huge lesson when doing that, and it really carries forward to what I do now when I help buyers and I see younger people that want to buy a house and they're getting into it, and I really have that discussion like, okay, is this monthly payment feasible for you? Because last thing you want to do is be mortgage poor, because I went through that. And if it is, and you want to be in that school district, and maybe you could purchase the house and you're paying $500 more a month versus renting the same house in the same neighborhood, yeah, you would want to do that because it's so close, and with those tax benefits, and then you don't have to worry about your rents going up. You don't have to worry about the landlord kicking you out. I mean, it just gives you peace of mind. So I think homeownership is, you got to do it, and it's a great thing if you can, but you got to do it for the right reason. See, I was so young and I had no mentors. I didn't have somebody telling me you base it off the rents. And so I bought it speculating, the house will go up, thinking that's what successful people do. And really, I learned a valuable lesson, right? They say we learn the hardest and best lessons when we make mistakes. And so I made a huge mistake. I don't want you to make that same mistake. So I wanted to share this story. If you're thinking about purchasing a house or downsizing or upsizing, whatever that may be, I'd love to earn your business. Again, my name is Matt Cole. There's a link down below for us to connect. Click on that link. We can get connected and see if we're a right fit for each other. And as always, have a great day.